Today I'm going to tell you how I got rid of Bruce Wayne's cyst naturally without having to put this dude through surgery. Now, I'm not a vet or medical professional, so always seek advice from your vet. I'm here just to share my experience, what I did with him, because it was bothering him. Bruce Wayne had a big cyst on his foot that was growing over time and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. A cyst is any type of fluid-filled structure that leaves your dog with a lump or bump underneath their skin. Before I did anything with this cyst, we had it tested by a vet to make sure it was benign and not cancerous. So before I share what I did to Bruce Wayne's cyst on his foot, I'm going to give you a few other natural remedies that could help your dog out in reducing the size of their cyst or even getting rid of it altogether. Let me know if your dogs suffer from any types of cysts and if you've tried any methods and what's worked. The first thing you can do is use a heat compress on your dog's cyst. Apply it to their cyst 8 to 10 minutes a day, 3 to 4 times a day, and do this for at least a month to see if it shrinks that cyst, opens it up so it can start naturally draining inside their body. Option 2 is you can use something called liquid DSMO. I love ya. Topically apply it to the cyst itself and just rub it in, and you want to do this a couple times a day. If your dog suffers from allergies like Bruce Wayne does, he has seasonal allergies, I'm going to be going through a certain protocol, so make sure you guys subscribe because I'm going to document it to see how well this natural protocol works. That way you can possibly avoid any type of pharmaceutical intervention and just do everything holistic and naturally. Another thing you might want to use is castor oil. And just like DSMO oil, castor oil is anti-inflammatory, and you can actually use it in combination with DSMO oil. You can do this after you apply DSMO oil. You can just use it by itself. You're going to want to do this 2 times a day, and you're going to want to continue using this for at least a month to see if it starts reducing the cyst. Another thing you can try is turkey tail. Turkey tail has been proven to reduce the size of lumps, bumps, and even cancerous tumors. I've been giving Bruce Wayne turkey tail orally 1 time a day for about the past 2 months now. It also lessens the chance of the cyst coming back. And I'll list a brand of turkey tail that I'm using in the description box below. Another thing you can use on your dog is CBD oil. And no, this is not sponsored. And this CBD oil is from Colorado Sun. And I actually talked to the owner on the phone, and they are wonderful people. They're a small mom and pop company. And since the brand of CBD I used to use on him, the company is no longer, I've been having a very difficult time finding a brand of CBD oil that works for him. This brand has been working wonders. I don't even use a full serving on him. If I use a full serving, it like snowballs him and he just wants to go to sleep. I use half a serving, half a dropper filled of this CBD orally on him nightly. And what I did notice is, A, it mellows him out. He's already mellow, but I mean, it will make him very, very mellow. So use with caution, and typically with CBD, all dogs are different, even the same weight. So it's kind of like trial and error to see what works for your dog. But what I really noticed is he's got like an extra pep in his step. Bruce Wayne's 6. He's not an old man, but he's definitely middle age. So I just noticed things like he sits faster, he stands faster. He's got more of a spring and hop to him. So I attribute it to the Colorado Sun CBD I've been using on him. And CBD is an anti-inflammatory, so it can help reduce the size of those cysts. Now, what I did for Bruce Wayne's cyst, I cut that some B out. Not really. I wish I would have filmed what I did. I took some pictures though. After the vet tested his cyst, it started to get worse. It started to get irritated. So we got the results back. It was benign. And by the time I got the results back, it was just so swollen. And you can see in the picture here, this is the day that I got rid of it. It looked like it was gonna burst. And Bruce was licking it. He was chewing it for like the entire week. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can handle this myself, because he had one in his head that I got rid of that never, yeah, you're happy that I got rid of that. And it never ended up coming back. The vet wanted to perform surgery to get rid of it. So it was a big ball in his foot, so I would just take it and it was loose. It wasn't attached to anything. You could just feel it like moving loosely. I cleaned up Bruce Wayne's foot really well with soap and water. I rubbed it down to sterilize it with alcohol and just make sure everything is really clean. Obviously I did the same with my hands. I started just working at it a little bit and just applying slight pressure to it. I had him on a sit stay. He's completely comfortable. He wasn't fussing. And you know when you get a pimple and it just starts over time to hurt worse and worse, and you just want that out of you, and you know it's ready to pop and burst? And that's basically what his cyst was at. I was able to just gently start squeezing at it, and the skin broke. And I was able to just start working out all that liquid, all that pus. And you can see on my finger all that like white, fatty, pussy type tissue that came out of it. That came out of it. A ton of blood came out of it, and a lot of clear liquid. There wasn't a lot of fatty type material in there. There wasn't even like a lot of pus in there. It was a lot of clear liquid and a lot of blood. Because it was obstructed, that's what the cyst is, it had nowhere to go, and it just started filling up bigger and bigger and bigger. You can see the hole in his foot where everything came out of it, and then how much smaller this was. So after I got rid of all the fluid as much as I felt I could for that day, I cleaned it up with peroxide and I bandaged it up. In the evening, I took the bandage off so it could just air dry, but I didn't want him laying in the dirt with a hole in his foot, getting bacteria in there, getting infected, getting sick, getting staph, anything like that. He had one in his head like a couple years ago, very tiny. When I did the same thing with that, it started to fill up a little bit more a few days later. I just repeated the process and it never came back. The only thing that came back was instead of growing black hair back, he grew like 3 white hairs. It was really weird. Next day, it was scabbed over and it was a little bit bigger than the day that I got rid of everything out of it the previous day. Gave it another 24 hours after that. So now we're talking 48 hours after I got rid of the cyst, and it started to fill up a little bit more. Nowhere near the size that it was originally. So I just repeated the process, drained it again, cleaned it with peroxide, the whole 9 yards, made sure it was sterile, made sure it was clean, and then gave it 3 more days, started to fill up again, but even smaller than the second time it filled up. Repeated the process 1 more time, and now I haven't had to do it again. He wasn't in any pain doing it, and let me just show you the end result. He still got a little bump there, but it doesn't even like look like a cyst anymore. Can I show him your foot, bro? Can I show him your foot? It was on his back toe, and it was right here. And that's basically like the little, where the hole was, it's like a little scab. And that is like nothing. It's like a little nodule now compared to this gigantic lump. Could it fill up more? Possibly. Could that just be dried up fluid in there? And you can see how like dry that skin is. Let me just get rid of some of that for you, bro. I'm not even sure if it's even gonna ever come back again, because it is like literally almost non-existent. So I was able to avoid surgery on this dude. He's happy. I'm happy. You know, we don't ever want to give our dogs surgery if you don't have to. You know, it's best to avoid at all costs if we can. So that was my non-surgical way to remove Bruce Wayne's cyst. Right after I got rid of all the fluid out of there the first time, I gave Bruce Wayne his break command. He stood up. Now remind you, his head was away from me and his butt end was towards my face. Stood up, turned around. All of a sudden I feel this giant paw on my shoulder, pulled me back, and he just starts kissing me like, oh my God, thank you. My foot feels so much better, so much relief. Because imagine having a giant cyst in your foot. Every time you step, you're gonna feel that. And it's going to start bothering you over time. I'm sure the vet's advice would be to never do that. And I'm always open to hear what the vet says, but ultimately I end up making the decision what I feel is best for my dog. And to me, avoiding surgery at all cost was the right decision for me, for him. I do get a lot of questions about CBD. I'll link that company in the description box below. Make sure you try them out. It is pricey. Never price shop for CBD because you usually get what you pay for. All right, guys, until next time, Bruce Wayne, Joey Justice back there, and myself, we'll see you later. Peace.